All right, so section 3.5.1, timed invalidation. So we're looking at this app on the right. This app updates twice a second, almost appearing as an animation to our eyes. All right. So on the left column, we have uh, three drop-down menus to collect numeric inputs. And on the right, we have a plot of two distributions. All right. So let's take a look at the code on the left. So UI side, we have fluid row, right? So inside fluid page function, we have fluid row, only one fluid row function, and that's why we have a one row here in the UI. And within one row, we have two columns, right? And the first column is 3 inches wide, and the second column is 9 inches wide. Remember, we have 12 grids, right? So 12 inch. Um, so again, here for inputs, the column that has inputs 3 inches wide, and for the plot, we have 9 inches wide. So that's what we're seeing here. Nothing that we're not familiar with. And let's take a look at the server function here. So to make the app updates twice a second, we're using this reactive timer function, and we provide 500 milliseconds, meaning that it updates once half a second, right? And we save that in timer. So this reactive timer function is a special type of reactive function, right? And we use this timer in another reactive function when we're defining this x1 and x2. Inside the reactive function, we have timer, which is reactive value, which contains reactive value, right? And then again, in render plot function, we're using x1 and x2, again, reactive values, right? So let's try this in our studio. Okay, so let's close this out. And in chapter, we need a new chapter, right? So go to new folder, chapter 4, right? So in here, we're going to create code along 3. So Shiny Web App. Oh, not 3, 4. Click Browse. Let's make sure that it goes into. All right, so it's not chapter 4, it's chapter 3 A and B, right? So we need to revise the name there. But for now, um, open, create. All right, so let's rename this folder here because we divided chapter 3 into half. So for this, um, part 1. All right. No, oh, is that because I have this app? No. Okay, so let's try this again. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So master shiny. Maybe we could do it here. All right. And then rename. All right. So that's what we see here. Okay. So part 2, we have code along 4. And then we have this app. And let's rename this as, what is it? 3.5.1. So 3.5.1. Okay, so let's delete everything and then shiny app. So we got the boilerplate code here, and let's go to the textbook and timed invalidation. So controlling timing evaluation. Uh, and the server we need, so this is the UI, the code for UI, right? So when you run app, so we have these 3 drop-down menus to collect numeric information here, right? And we need the server function and we need a reactive timer function to use current time as an input, which triggers Shiny updates, right? So let's go back to the textbook. This one is not. So time evaluation, this is what you need. So let's replace this, right? And then remember this free poly function is a customized function that needs to be defined, okay? So free poly, Control F, free, what is it? What was the name of the function again? Right, so this is here, that is the definition of the function. And we need a ggplot2 package. We need to load that as well. So let's put it right here. Again, in a complicated app, we would define and save the function in another file and just source it from the other file so that our main code will be concise and easy to understand. Right, so let's reload app. All right, so we have our app here, right? So you can see that it keeps updating, right? So this is updating twice a second, right? So we can change this, how often it updates. So again, it's updating automatically because it doesn't have to collect information from the user. Um, so it's using reactive timer function to use the current time as an input. We can change this to go faster or slower, right? So let's say um, instead of twice a second, maybe once 2 seconds, 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds, right? So it updates every 2 seconds. Let's see whether we can notice that, right? So it updates automatically, but it's a lot slower, right? And because it's using reactive function, um, it updates whenever all these inputs changes, including this current time. Okay, so for example, let me use this lambda1, right? Lambda2. There you go. So every time any inputs change, output updates in response to changes in any inputs. That's what this reactive function does, right? Uh, okay, so let's put this back to 500 and close the app and save this. And that is it for reactive timer function, the use case of reactive timer function, right? Um, all right, so I'll see you in the next video for the second case where we use the user's click as a way to control the frequency of Shiny updates.